Good evening. We are live, trying out a different style of webcam today, actually using the iPhone for the camera. So hopefully it's coming across well. I see a couple of people are in nice and early. So we'll say a couple of hellos quickly, and then I want to get onto the subject and the topic today. So as you can see, ticking along the bottom there, what does work-life balance mean to you? And tonight, hopefully, you guys can join in. Let me know what work-life balance means to you on eBay. And I want to talk a little bit about my work-life balance on eBay and how I'm trying to adjust it slightly at the moment with trying to fit in eBay, YouTube, and life as well, which comes on to really why we are now on a Tuesday. But I'll get onto that shortly. But anyway, Secret Carper was in first. Hi, hope you're good. Alan's in. Hope you're well, Alan. Meeting up with you next week, I believe, if you are coming to the Cardiff Roadshow still. So I really look forward to meeting you there, meeting you in person. So that'd be cool. Damien's in, Pat's in, Tap Peddler's in. Derek, hope you're good. Hope the conversion's coming along nicely. Leanne in. Hi, Leanne. Yes, next Thursday, the 2nd. I was trying to think in my head. My clogs were going then on when the Cardiff Roadshow is. But yeah, next Thursday. So that'd be cool to meet you. Ian J's in, Night's Life's in as well. So anyway, we'll get on to tonight. As I say, I'm really keen to find out for you guys, what does the term work-life balance mean for you? Because I know when I first started reselling, part of the reason was because I wanted that work-life balance. I wanted to be able to, a drop of a hat, if I needed to do something, do something. And when I started eBay, the temptation to drop things all the time was there. So it would get to a stage of where friends were messaging me saying, do you want to do this today? Yes, let's do it, because I work for myself, so I can just do what I want to do. Then it gets to the stage you realize that actually that is costing you money constantly doing so. And you have to say no from time to time. Now, I'm really trying to work on my schedule and have a complete schedule where I know exactly what I'm doing day to day. And yes, things are subject to change, but if I can kind of get in my head of what I need to do, it's going to help me when it comes to actually planning out my day. I would say I've got the eBay day nailed on, but the YouTube and the life schedule is what I've been adding in this week. So I thought it'd be good for me to come on and actually find out from you guys whether you have a schedule or how you run your eBay businesses, whether you do it part-time or full-time. So what I want to do is talk about, first of all, why the coffee pod now is going to be on a Tuesday. The reason it's going to be on a Tuesday is because after this call, or after this live, sorry, on a Tuesday at 9 p.m, I actually host a call in the Daily Refinement group now. It's the UK call. So I host a call for the UK lot. It's not me being this super eBay expert who knows it all, because I really don't. It's really just to navigate it and trying to encourage the conversation. We talk about all stuff going on in the UK and eBay. And the American side, the Australia side, whoever else is in the Daily Refinement group, leaves us to it. And we go live from 9 till 10 is the kind of requirement I've been asked to do for an hour. But sometimes the call's gone to 11:30. So the reason I wanted to move my live to a Tuesday is because then Tuesday night for me and the wife is completely wiped out. So it's only one night a week, where beforehand, when I was doing a Monday live, and then I was doing a Tuesday live, and I also do something on a Thursday in the Daily Refinement group as well. It's 3 evenings a week when I'm down the shed late, working late, tired the next day. So I'm just trying to manage my life a bit better as well. So let me just jump in and see who else has joined. And I'm going to show you my schedule. And yeah, guys, tonight, please let me know your schedule and what you get up to. So let me see. RS is in. Hope you're good. My old man's in. Okay, so Damien's saying here, if eBay were a person, it'd be the most needy, attention-seeking, whiny sob. And if we were in a relationship with them, we'll be contemplating life and researching how much divorce lawyers are. Yeah, so sometimes you do feel you are married. Well, I do. I feel like I'm married to eBay. So there's all this thing around, and I believe in it. You know, if you list consistently on eBay, if you try and put out things daily, it gives you a boost in the algorithm. But it's hard to even take holiday on eBay. So we're going away at the end of the start of April, sorry, end of March, start of April, only for 2 or 3 days. But already I'm having to plan 2 or 3 days away. And I can't remember the last time I actually took a 2-week break from eBay, because unless you put your store on holiday mode, which can effectively close it right down near enough, it's hard to have that break. So this is why for me a schedule is really important, which is going to help me plan for when I do take time off. Secret Carpers agreeing there with Damien. With a dash of Stockholm syndrome thrown in for good measure. Yeah, I completely agree. So what I'm going to do quickly is I'm going to share my schedule, and then we'll go through the comments. Let me know what you guys do as a schedule. It's quite open tonight. Question answers, anything you want to ask, it's free for all tonight. So please join in. That really helps with a live, get people joining in. But this is my current eBay schedule. Okay, and it has changed slightly, I would say, within the last week or so. I've added in the gym. So I used to love going to the gym. When I worked full-time in recruitment, I used to always go to the gym before work or go to the gym after work because it was on the way home. And then when I started working for myself and I literally walked down the stairs and I opened the back door, come down the garden and sit in here for most of the day, I've got no reason to have to drive past the gym, which meant I've stopped going to the gym. So I've tried to get that back in my schedule. And I went this morning and I felt absolutely amazing after being in the gym. So what I've done now, that's in my schedule. That's at 7 o'clock. I've said to myself, I'm going to the gym. Now, normally I like to be in at 6:30, and I've left it till 9 o'clock. And yes, 2 hours in the gym is a long time. I don't need to be in the gym for 2 hours, but I've left enough buffer there in case things go wrong, in case I wake up a bit later. At least I've still got a buffer there. Then at 9 o'clock, I like to collect my souls from the garages. Now I've moved into the garages down the road. And also I like to drop the listed items off. So for instance, today I have been finishing off the Nerf lot. And so tomorrow, these items will then go off to the garage and I will pick up new items that I've got in there to bring back, which have sold, and also stuff that's in there that I still need to list. So that's my way and the process I'm trying to do it. Now, there's a charity shop on my way home, so I can drive past a charity shop before I get home, and I like to pop in on a daily basis. It's quite a good charity shop for me. I'm getting some good stuff from there, so I like to go in on a daily basis, see what's new. Then at 10 o'clock, I do the eBay store wake up, is what I call it. So that's responding to customer service, that's sending out offers, that's creating a coupon, that's doing your markdown sales, that's doing everything eBay, the stuff that eBay loves you to do, checking your promotions, checking your title descriptions, whatever it may be. It's really just to give your store what I call the wake up. And then at 10:15, what I do now is pack my orders. And I've left 45 minutes because it all depends on the size of the item. It all depends on the day. You know, on a Monday, it takes me a lot longer to pack an order compared to on like a Wednesday, because I ship daily. You know, if I've got 6 or 7 orders to pack, really easy. But on a Monday after the weekend, it could be 35, 40 orders. And that could take a bit of time. Then I like to list 20 items. So my listing goal at the moment is 20 items a day. I've moved up to there from the start of the year and I haven't missed a day yet. And actually, it's going really well. I've seen a real boost in my traffic and in my sales on eBay as well. I was actually up around 80% from in February compared to January, to give you an idea of how much of a boost it's given me. Now, it's not always going to be that high. It's a new thing I'm doing. So I expected a bit of a boost. So I'm going to review it after 6 months to see actually the true effects of the work I'm putting in now. Then at 1:30, I want to drop off my parcels by 1:30. So I've effectively given myself 2.5 hours to do 20 items. Now, with the Nerf stuff today, I managed to get all 20 up within an hour because it's really simple process, the same process. You know, picturing the guns, bullets, the titles and Nerfs are really easy to find. So that's really quick. Other days is a lot more research, so it takes a bit longer. And then from 2 o'clock is where I've left the time for YouTube planning, filming, and editing. So anyone who does YouTube, you'll understand that it's not as simple as sometimes it looks. When you see us put out our car boot sale videos and they're 15 minutes long, you might think that's only taken us, half an hour to do. But a lot of time goes into the editing, to the thumbnail, to the planning of some other videos. So that takes time. And then I'd have to buffer for sourcing. So that's going to be such as Facebook Marketplace. I might go back to the charity shop for a second time or whatever it may be. And then drafting for the weekend days. So I don't like to really be down here working at the weekend because I go to the car boot sale. So I like to be able to have 40 drafts of the weekend ready to go live. And then at 4 o'clock every day, I do something called reset to zero, which basically means my shed is ready for next day's work. So the desk is tidy, there's no, coffee cups left down there, there's no mess on the floor around me. It's ready to go for the following day. And then I've got other work commitments. So as I mentioned, I do the YouTube live, which is going to be now Tuesday at 7, and then UK call Tuesday at 9 in the group. I support Mel with the YouTube call on Thursday at 9 o'clock. That's weekly as well. And then I have other things going on. So I have an auction on Thursdays I can go to, which starts at 6 o'clock, but we like to get there a bit early. And it's about a 40-minute drive for me. So effectively, that's 3 o'clock I need to plan to leave. And then I've got the car boots on Saturday and Sunday. Normally, that's a 5 o'clock wake up for me. And also managing Instagram. I'm trying to build TikTok a little bit more. I'm not great on TikTok. I'm trying to improve. And also dealing with YouTube comments and stuff takes a bit of time as well. So as you can see, my eBay day is not just what a lot of people think. And I think you can relate as resellers. People think you just find items cheap, you sell them on eBay, and that's your day done. A lot more goes into it. So that's my current schedule. That allows me also to spend a bit more time inside the house with the wife. The family time is really important, but also to free up some time for me to have a bit of downtime, to not think about YouTube and eBay. Because like Damien said here, you feel like you are sometimes married to eBay. And it's not healthy at times. And I think we all get burnt out. So Derek's saying he doesn't have a schedule as such. He works very hard every day, most of the time, but take time away when I need to without worrying. And that's why I prefer working for myself. Yes, so that's where it comes down to what work-life balance means, because it means a lot of things to a lot of people. And I think when people start on eBay, and as I said, I was guilty of this, I thought to myself, it'd be really easy because you can just drop things and pick things up when you want. But trying to restart things when you're in the flow of doing things, I find really difficult. For instance, I need to list my 20 items in one go. I can't list 5, go and make a coffee, go and get some lunch, go and post some stuff, come back, list 5, and then do 10 and eat. I find that really difficult. So I need to do that in one go. Hi, Z. Hope you're good. I enjoyed jumping into your live earlier. Good to see you, mate. So Derek's saying he worked from, I worked from home for the man before it was a different ball game. Yeah, I think when you've gone from working for someone and making them loads of money to then working for yourself and making yourself hopefully loads of money, it's a game changer, and actually it makes it a lot easier. And that's why we all do it at the end of the day. We don't want to work in an office, or we don't want to work for someone else. We want to build our own businesses to work for ourselves. So there's lots of benefits to it. I just feel without a schedule, I end up all over the place, which is not a good place to be. So Alan's saying here, something which I did a few months ago, which has really helped me, is I turn all eBay notifications off my phone. I check eBay when I want to, and I am not constantly at its mercy. Yeah, that's a good shout. And I know with the iPhones, you can put on Do Not Disturb, because that's another one of my traits. Because I use the phone to take the photos, I find sometimes if I get a WhatsApp message, or if I get a notification on Instagram, or if I get a YouTube comment, I will stop what I'm doing, reply to the comment, and then again, it's hard to get back in the flow. So I've started using that Do Not Disturb a bit more, just to take away the outside world. Now, if someone needs to get through to you, they can still call you. So I've always said to the wife, if she needs to get through to me, it's an absolute emergency, call me. But she's working, she knows I'm working, so it's very rare she calls me unless it's a must. Let me see. Hi, Zoe. Hope you're good. Let me see who else is in. Michelle, hope you're good. We were just speaking about the Cardiff event. So for anyone who doesn't know, eBay Cardiff are doing a roadshow next Thursday. So myself, Michelle, Alan, who I mentioned earlier, Sully's Vintage, who was on the channel, Jess, who might be in tonight, JJ, Luke Waters Clobber, to name a few, Simon as well. We're all going down to Cardiff. We're going to meet up with Jamie, which will be quite cool as well, and we're going to go to the roadshow, so that'll be quite cool. So if anyone's in here from Wales or around the area who's going to the roadshow, let me know, because it'll be good to meet you in person as well. Jameson, Jamie Dodger Flips. I always promote James's channel because he's doing a great job, and actually, I just love seeing him down the Sunday car boot. Built a really good friendship with James. So if you don't follow him, please do. I'm desperate to get him up to 1,000 subs before April. I said to him down the car boot, I think at the start of January, that he's going to get up to the 1,000 before April. So if you don't follow him, please do so. If any of the admins are in as well, if you can chuck in James's channel, that'd be really helpful. But again, if anyone else has their own YouTube channel, always chuck it in my lives. I don't mind doing that, because when I was starting out on YouTube, a lot of people done the same as well. Drew, good day. Good to have you in, mate. It's good for you to join us. I'm really enjoying your stuff as well. So yeah, thanks for joining. I think it's your first time on one of my lives, so I appreciate that. Damien's saying that schedule looks like mine, except delete everything before wake up. Yeah, honestly, I used to just not have a clue. And that sounds really naive, not having a clue what you're doing. But I used to sometimes come down here and just think, what's the plan today? You know, so for me, a schedule, I have to have a schedule. Otherwise, I won't get things done. And I've tried doing the gym at the end of the day, because I know a lot of people say, get all your work done, then go to the gym. And, you know, look at your schedule, 4 o'clock comes, you've got plenty of time to go to the gym. I always find a reason not to go to the gym. So it needs to be wake up, first thing before I do any work is gym, because otherwise I just won't go, and that is not good. So Nikki says, this is cool. Thinking of giving up my job, doing over 7K every 90 days from last May. Well, first of all, 7K 90 days if you are working, that's amazing. So well done, Nikki. My advice to anyone who's thinking about doing this full time, and don't get me wrong, I was made redundant and I went straight into this full time. But the only reason I've done so is because I had my redundancy money behind me, and I looked at my finances and said, if I do not do well on eBay, or I don't sell anything on eBay, I can survive 5 or 6 months. All the redundancy money would have gone, and I would have to go back into a recruitment job. My only advice to you, Nikki, is build up a nice pot of buffer money in case, because it doesn't always go to plan. And I'll be honest, I do YouTube, and sometimes we have the tendency to show you all of the most amazing stuff. You know, we go to the car boot and we find this and we find that, and it's amazing, and we're going to make millions. Actually, there's a lot what goes into it. There's also a lot of stuff you don't see behind the scenes. Dealing with returns, you know, you could have a £200 sale. I sold a steering wheel the other week for £210. It was, customer received it and said they couldn't configure it to the Xbox. Now, I've got the wheel back, nothing wrong with the wheel at all, but I've had to pay for the return postage of that. I now have to relist the item, and effectively that £200 is disappeared out of my account again. So just make sure you've got a little pot behind you, but 7K in 90 days is absolutely incredible if you are doing it part-time. What's up, Malcolm Smith? Good to see you. Johnny G. Jimmy, you know I'm new to this full-time reselling game, so I'm in the honeymoon period. It's 24/7, but I couldn't be happier with my decision. Still trying to work out the work-life balance myself. Yes, it is so hard to work out the work-life balance. When you start reselling, if you're anything like me, you will find any reason that you are your own boss to not do stuff. I remember when I first started, I think I was playing golf 2 or 3 times a week with my friends, just because I could. Just because it's like, oh, all my other friends are working, but I'm my own boss, so I can go down the golf course for an hour and, you know, whatever it is. Yes, you can still do that. Don't get me wrong. But I think you need to have a plan in place to do that. So I know now, if I'm going to be busy on a Friday, I will prepare to take Friday off, and then I can relax, instead of stressing about what times I need to get back or work until midnight, because I've done that before, believe me. So Derek's saying Reset Zero is something I want to do. I know Tech and Sports talks about it a lot in the podcast. Probably not going to happen till I'm in the barn, though. Yeah, so honestly, Reset Zero has been a game changer to me, Derek, and I completely agree. Once you have a bit more space, it's so much easier to do, because now I have the process, say, to take all of my items I've worked with today, they go in the van tonight, or even in the morning before I go to the gym, they get dropped off, they're out of the way. So even though it's not 100% reset to zero on the same evening, I know the process that these items are going to be out of the way before I start listing tomorrow. But yeah, Tech and Chris speak about it a lot, and that's obviously where I've heard it from. And that's been a real game changer for me. Here we go, Simon. So Simon's coming down to Cardiff as well. Hi, James. I can't seem to switch off. Maybe I'm weird. Yeah, I find that a lot as a reseller. It's really hard for me to actually just say, right, eBay's done for the evening. As guilty as this is, I'm trying to spend more time with the wife. And when I say guilty, it's not because I want to spend more time with the wife, because I do. When we're watching a film, the temptation to check my phone is always there. because it's not even now looking for messages from the boys or whatever it may be. It's seeing if a customer's made an offer on eBay, I need to accept it quick for someone else. And it's that constant thing going on. So what I've done now is I try and leave my phone where possible upstairs on charge when we are spending that quality time. And if she pops on, she'll tell you that I'm used to say, I always say I'm going to do it and I never do, but I need to get better at it. But I think having a bit more of a schedule and giving myself a bit of time off, a few days off, is really good as well. Let me know in the chat, guys, as well. Do you give yourself a dedicated day off from eBay? And I'm talking about 100% day off. I'm not talking about going to a car boot on a Saturday and Sunday, but you're not listing, so it's a day off, because that's what I class as my day off. But does anyone kind of say, every Tuesday, I don't touch eBay if you're doing this full time? Let me know in the comments. I'll be really, really keen to know. F2A Bargains, good to have you in. Lucy's car boot is in. So Lucy, I met at the car boot the other week as well. She's just started her YouTube channel. So again, if you don't follow, please do. She says, we list every other week, so I get a week in between to sort of stock and photograph and days off. Okay, so that's the way you plan it. So again, if that schedule works for you, that's amazing. But it's good you've got that plan in place where you kind of say, 1 week we're listing, 1 week we're sorting, 1 week we're listing, 1 week we're sorting. If it works for you, that's what is the most important thing as well. Secret Carp says, I work in welding factory part-time 3 days a week. Right, I can't moan about doing eBay if you work in a welding factory. Okay, so you're putting me to shame straight away. 2 days the next week. So I have to work really hard to get 10 listings a day, but having that steady income is really great. Yeah, it's that balance there. And I tip my hat, honestly, to anyone who does eBay alongside a full-time job. It sounds so difficult. I mean, I struggle to even do eBay, let alone YouTube and all the other bits. So if you are doing a full-time job and then doing your eBay, you have to find the time to do it. So I think for someone like Secret Carper, the schedule is even more important because he has to plan whether he gets up an hour earlier to do his listings and whether he drops things off lunch times at the post office, wherever it may be. You have to be organized. Otherwise, you can't do that. Yeah, Michelle saying, yes, Cardiff. Tamabel in. Thanks, Tamabel. Thank you for sharing James's link. If you haven't subscribed, as I said, please do. I promised him we're going to try and get him to 1,000 by April. And I'm not plugging his channel because he's my friend. He puts out some really good stuff, actually. And some of his stuff is a lot better than mine. So, yeah, please go and follow him. So Z is saying here, writing things down always helps get things done for me. The days where I just wing it are seldom as productive. Yeah, so I completely agree, Z. So I know I spoke to you a lot regarding scheduling and planning as well. We've had many deep discussions about this. But I completely agree. If I haven't got a plan of what I'm going to do, even when it comes to the eBay side, I end up getting nothing done. So I said to myself yesterday, I was like, right, alarm clock's going to go off. The wife's going to go to work. As soon as she left the house, I'm getting in the van, going to the gym. My plan today was to bring back the Nerf gun stuff and get them listed, which I've done so. I already know tomorrow I've got another big crate of Nerf gun attachments that need to get listed. So when I drop all this stuff off, I'm going to pick my orders, grab that box in the van, and then we're going to crack on and do listings again. So I already have in my head the schedule and the plan of what's going to happen in the morning. And knowing that the gym is done first thing for me is an absolute game changer because I love the gym when I'm in the gym. I hate thinking about going to the gym. So if I don't think about it and just do it, I want to shift all this weight I put on because when I was in the recruitment job and I was going to the gym once a day, I was the slimmest I've been ever, I think. But it's just difficult. But again, it's habit stacking. It's getting that routine in place. So Damien says, I don't do a schedule. I just make a list of everything I want to achieve the next day. Yeah, like I just said there. Again, although you say you don't do a schedule, that is part of having a schedule. That's part of having a plan in place. Instead of like C saying there, if you just walk into your work area and just wing it, it's really difficult. And it's the same as if you worked for a company, you know, with the Secret Carper, with his welding job, if he went in there and there was no plan in place, there was no operational procedure in place, he doesn't know what he's doing. So he walks into the work area and he's thinking, well, what does my boss want me to do today? And that's where we have to manage it better because we work for ourselves. We are our own boss and we are responsible for our own actions. And I think that is sometimes difficult for people like myself who have gone from full-time employment where you kind of have targets and told what to do, Two, having to tell yourself what to do. Because I could easily say, tomorrow I'm not doing anything. That's up to me. And I have every right to do that. But you're only punishing yourself. And that's really difficult. Phil, first live, finally. Well, Phil, I really appreciate you coming in. Honestly, I always like when people come onto their first lives. Hopefully you enjoyed tonight. I normally have a guest on with me, or I try and do 1 week guest, 1 week just me. Damien, I'm going to organise, because Damien's going to come on the channel. We're going to organise a date. But yeah, Phil, thanks so much for coming in, and hopefully you enjoy. Lee, hope you're good, mate. Haven't caught up for you in a few days, but hope you're well. Hope you're doing well at the car boot sales. Lee always shares with me on Instagram, and we call him the Flex, because he shares with me the most incredible gaming bundles that Lee finds from places. And I'm always so jealous, because I love picking up gaming bundles. If I could niche down to something, it would be gaming, but I find it so difficult to find. But Lee's been really helpful on a couple of bits with me as well. So yeah, good to see you in, Lee. Hope you're well. So Lucy's saying, new to YouTube, trying to reach 500 subscribers by the end of February. So again, I've seen Tam Bell in. I'm going to put Tam on duty tonight. Tam, if you can share Lucy's channel in the chat as well, or Lucy, if it lets you do it, feel free. I'm happy for anyone, and this goes for anyone. If anyone's got a YouTube channel or anything they want to promote it on these live streams, please. I always shout you out, 100%. You should definitely work to make tomorrow easier. Yes, indeed. And I think that's where, for me, the extra drafts come into play. I've had a few days in the last month or so, well, not in February, January, where I've had to come down here on a Saturday and Sunday, and I don't want to. There's no switch off time. So I'm really concentrating on building the draft bank. When I've done the 24-hour stream, I had a lovely draft bank. But then when you struggle to find stock consistently, you start eating into the draft bank, and doing 20 a day, 140 drafts does not last long. Talking a 24-hour stream, I am planning on doing another one when the weather gets a bit nicer, maybe sort of May time, June time. I'm not promising a date at the moment, but there will be another 24-hour stream. I just don't want to sit in this cold shed, so I need to prepare for it. But yeah, just a heads up, it is going to come. Nikki says, what stops me is thinking I'm just getting lucky. But just like today, I went charity shop and spent £18, should make 160. This happening all the time. I have to not go, as I've not listed everything yet. Yeah, so as long as you can find a stock, you'll be absolutely fine. Just make sure you've got that bit of backup in case, because it doesn't always go 100% to plan. But you're smashing it. If you're doing it part-time, you're finding stuff in charity shop where you're paying £18 to make 160, keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, get to the point of where you feel confident that you can give up your full-time job. I know a lot of people sort of drop down to part-time if they can, and do this part-time alongside. I'm not going to say, but I've spoke to someone who is going to be going full-time as of next month, I believe. I'm not going to name names, but really excited for it, which would be good. On it 24/7. Line my Vinties in, hope you're good. Here we go. Simon's not had a day off in 14 months. Now, I know, Simon, you do eBay alongside some other bits as well, and you are always flat out. But 14 months without a proper day off, that's not good for anyone. So I guess for you, Simon, it needs to be all about building that draft bank where you can just have a day off. But if you dispatch daily, you can't have a full day off, because you've still got to post items, which is why I try and take Saturday as my day off. Although I go to the car boot, by the kind of 11 o'clock, I'm done. And Sunday's the same. By the time it gets to sort of 11 o'clock, I'm done. So I try and take Saturday and Sunday as my two chill days, but I don't ever have a full day off. Damien says, never switch eBay off for a day since I've started. Some days I do nothing, but it offers or messages I can deal with. Yeah, I think even when you take the full day off of eBay, you can still deal with a couple of things on your phone. So what I'm talking about is probably more so the thought of, being on your laptop listing or being on your PC listing, however you do it as well. But this is interesting. It's a common theme. Derek's the same. No day off for me, but I view the weekends my days off, as all I do is go to the boot sale. So yeah, like I was saying there, the boot sale doesn't feel like work in a weird way. I really enjoy it. Home mid-morning usually, then I have the rest of the day away from eBay. Yeah, so that's kind of what I do. But now we're doing YouTube, the weekends turn into more YouTube time. Or on a Sunday, normally what I like to do is come home, edit the video, get it ready to go out for Sunday evening because I like getting the Sunday boot sale footage out for people. But sometimes you come home from the car boot sale, you've got all the stuff you just brought, and you just want to put your feet up and not think about eBay, YouTube, or anything else. But it's all about that consistency. See, saying like any social media app, eBay wants you using their website as often as much as possible, hence making you run the treadmill. Yeah, they want you there 24/7. They want you to be. We are working for eBay. It doesn't matter how we, go around it, and we all talk about how we are running our own businesses, which we are. But effectively, eBay's our boss, and eBay wants you to work for them as many hours as possible. And the more hours you put in with eBay, the more they're going to give back to you as well. So Alan's saying, hit total burnout last week. I did not list or source all weekend. I just had 3 days off other than dispatch, and now I'm back to normal. First time that has ever happened to me. Well, Alan, I don't mind admitting I had the same burnout last Friday. So I was like, do you know what? I'm just going to come, do my packing. I've got some drafts. I'm just going to list the drafts. And I was done within eBay. I think my eBay day was about 35 minutes. I just needed a day off. I was fed up with it. I was fed up with customers. I was fed up with thinking about listing items. I was fed up with Nerf guns, I'll be honest with you. So yeah, don't beat yourself up. But that's a good thing. You recognized it. You had 3 days off for yourself, and now you're back to feeling like normal. So yeah, I think a lot of people worry about that. Are you doing a disservice yourself? But sometimes it's nice just to have that recharge, just to have that refocus. And I think, Alan, that will help you as well, and that will give you another boost. And again, like I said to Simon earlier, that just goes to show, doesn't it, how important a draft bank is. Michelle's saying, I think it's so hard to switch off when you're in growth mode, as you just want to keep going to grow where you want to be. And I 100% agree with that, Michelle, because that's where I am at the moment. I've gone up to 20 a day. In April, I've said I'm going up to 22 a day. So I am in full growth mode. I've got the garages now. I've got two huge garages. One is completely empty apart from the Nerf gun stuff that I'm bringing to the shed to list, and it's going in the other one anyway. So by the end of this week, the other garage is completely empty. And I've probably only filled the other one 25, 30%. So I'm in the same boat as you, full growth mode. I'm doing a lot more clothing at the moment, which I never thought I would do because I hated doing clothing. I'm starting to enjoy the process a little bit more now I'm understanding it. But I just want to keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going. But at what point do you hit that brick wall where you kind of have to say to yourself, you need a day? And I think that's where I hit Friday. I just need a day to recharge, to not do anything eBay related, and just to reset. And it really helped me to take the day off. Secret Carper saying, yeah, I get a week ahead and stays that way. If I don't, sales go down fast. And that is what Z was saying earlier as well. eBay will punish you if you aren't consistent on the platform. If you say to yourself, do you know what? I'm going to take 2 weeks off. I've got 2,000 items on my store. Things will still sell. Yes, they will 100%. But you won't get as much traffic if you are feeding that beast constantly. That's what I truly believe. Only cool stuff. Oh, sorry, you're having a private conversation between you two, which is good. So, hello, Bolton car boot. Might have been a bit weird because I wasn't sure if it was you. Maybe say a proper hello in the future. Yeah, that's always good when you see people at car boots. I get people come up to me at the car boot, and it's always lovely to speak to them. Honestly, when people say, I like watching your channel, I like this, I'll ask them the question, what is it you like about the channel? Because I'm always open to improvements. I always want to hear what people who, maybe don't have YouTube, who watch the YouTube stuff, what they want to see. And I chucked out something on the Instagram the other day, and I had a lot of nice comments of saying, just keep doing what you're doing. But also people are saying, love to see more picking and love to see more packing. And that stuff I want to bring in as well. So hopefully this week I'll be able to film a picking and packing video to release. Hi, Paul. Hope you're good. Yes, our Saturday car boot. So I met Paul down the Saturday car boot, and we've done a bit of business together as well. But our Saturday car boot, Paul, opens not this Saturday, Saturday after. So I'm hoping it's going to be really good. Knowing our luck, it'll probably rain the first Saturday it's open. But yeah, once that opens up, I feel the season has really begun because my Sunday one's on. It's doing really well. But the Saturday isn't. So yeah, Paul, hopefully I'll see you down there on the Saturday. Thanks, Tamabel. So Tamabel put Lucy's channel in there as well. Hello, thanks for joining. Just subbed. Cool. Okay, let's have a look here. So the more you put yourself out there, the luckier you get. Yeah, I completely agree. A lot of people say to me, "Oh, you were so lucky to find that at the car boot sale," or "You were so lucky to find that in the charity shop," or "Oh, you get really lucky with some of your bulk buys you pick up." But the truth of the matter is, you've got to put yourself there. You know, does the luck come from my alarm clock going off at 5 o'clock in the morning, and the missus fuming because I'm trying to get ready really quietly, but actually switching on all the lights and banging? You know, the cats want feeding and feeding them, and then forgetting to let them out so they wake her up. You know, and then to put yourself in a field that is cold, wet, muddy at times. Sometimes you're half asleep. Sometimes you see, like I saw on a Sunday, and you get other resellers coming up to you saying that someone just sold 2 boxed Game Boys with 13 or 12 boxed games for 35 quid, and you've missed it by 3 stalls. You know, you kind of get deflated by that. So the term luck is funny when it comes to reselling, but you've got to put yourself there. You know, we all work hard to what we get. Some people look at resellers and say, "Oh, all you do is buy people's items cheap and flip it for more money." Well, yeah, that's what we do as a job, but it's not as easy as a lot of people think. And I was naive to it when I went into reselling, watching the likes of Nick Hills and, you know, Zizin and the other videos, George Ross, and seeing how every week they're going out and they're finding all this really good stuff and they're making loads of money and selling it on, and not realizing the work that goes in behind the scenes. And once you start yourself, you quickly do realize the amount of work that goes into it. So Simon's going on holiday for 12 days in May, trying to build a draft bank, needs 250 to cover it. So that says a lot about eBay and how Simon, like the rest of us, are working for eBay, because going away for 12 days and needing 250 items to actually be able to enjoy the holiday is sickening at times. But at least Simon's on it now and he's thinking ahead of the time. You know, Simon's probably been thinking the moment he booked this holiday of getting them drafts building up. And I know from speaking to Simon, he's trying to do it where he's adding a few extra a week to build up to it, where you're not, you know, stressing yourself last minute to get 250 up. Because for a lot of people, 250 listings is a month, or sometimes 2 months, sometimes 3 months for some people, depending on what your listing goal is. But for Simon to have that in his mind already is really good. So he's all prepared. See, saying, I'm pretty sure there's a saying, the harder I work, the luckier I seem to get. Yeah, and I think it's true. At the end of the day, if you are putting yourself at 2 boot sales every weekend or 3 boot sales every weekend, the dice should roll in your favor a lot more than someone who's maybe putting themselves out at 1 boot sale a month. But it's not guaranteed. You know, Joe Bloggs can go to 1 car boot sale and pay £5 for something that's going to make him, you know, £40,000. And I could go and spend, you know, 12, 15 boot sales and make nowhere near that kind of money. So it is true, but I think it's right place, right time. And don't get me wrong, I've missed out on my fair share of items at the car boot to other resellers I know, other YouTubers I know, who have come up to me and showed me and said, you know, this is what I found. You know, I can't believe I just found this. And I'm like, what store was that? And they were like, this one. I was like, I've just walked past that and didn't see it. But plenty of times it's happened the other way around, where people have come up to me and said, where'd you get that from? And it's like over there. And they, you know, so it is the luck of the draw. And that's what is good about a car boot sale, because you never know what you're going to find, which is the enjoyment of it. But also you've got to put yourself right place, right time. Otherwise it's a real struggle. So, but it is true, you know, the harder you work, the luckier you do get. Angela, good day. Angela's in Australia as well. So the Aussies are all waking up. What time is it, Angela, for you? It's early, isn't it? Is it 5 a.m., I want to say, as a guess? Let me know, but good to see you. Hope you're keeping well. Evening, Project Weaver. Hope you're good, mate. Thanks for popping in alive. If you guys have any questions for me or anyone else, drop them in the chat. I said it's only me on the live tonight. Hopefully we'll get Damien on. I will message you later on, Damien. Hopefully we can do next Tuesday if you're about. It'd be good to get you on. Tama Bell, I've got a question. So James, what do you think the sweet spot is for moving up to the middle store? 500, 600, or 700 listings? Now, I'm trying to remember when I moved up to a store, but someone has worked it out before based on the insertion fee. So I don't even know what the insertion fee is now because I'm on the middle store. And honestly, I think I moved up to the middle store when I hit, I want to say 600 items, top of my head. But there is an easy way to work it out. If you just times the insertion fee, times the amount of listings, and obviously deduct the free ones you get from the beginner store. Oh, here we go. Fix it's in 650 listings. Alan says it's 500 something. Yeah, I think it is around the 5 to 650, but yeah, and it's worth doing as well, Tamabel, because it helps you then grow up. And I think it's up to 1,500 now you get on that store. Now, I think I've got 800 in my store. I'm hoping not to get over the 1,500 because I'm hoping things will sell. But if I go over the 1,500, I think you need to get well over before you go up to the Anchor, because the Anchor store is quite expensive. I think it's nearly £300 now, which is ridiculous, I think. Speaking to people in Australia and America as well, you won't believe how many listings they get for the basic store compared to us. So I think in the UK, we get screwed over a little bit with that. It's one of the questions I'm going to ask at the roadshow in Cardiff about whether they have plans to increase that. I know the answer is going to be no, because eBay are there as a business to make as much money as possible out of us all. You know, I completely understand it. But I'm going to ask the question and find out why other countries get better amount of listings than we do. What's the reason behind that? So it's a question I'm going to ask. And if I do get an answer, I will let you guys know. So Alan's saying, when I started, I used to find these amazing items and I thought I was lucky, but they just keep coming. You do have bad days, but the bangers keep coming. Yes, and that happened to me on Sunday. So on Sunday, I had a Tamagotchi in the basket or in the trolley for an hour and a half with nothing else. 1 hour and a half of walking around a field with nothing else in my basket. And I was speaking to other resellers and Jamie Dodgers James come up to me and I was like, what have you got? And he was showing me his bag and all his shoes he's found and I'm like, mate, I'm just going to give up today. It's one of them days where either I'm not in it, because there's some days you go to the car boot and you're just not there. Your mind's not there. I said, I'm going to give up. And that's obviously when I found the jerseys, which if you haven't seen in the latest video, I brought 5 of these jerseys. And I've had a message on Instagram about this one. I'm doing some research on prices. And obviously I'll offer a subscriber discount, as it were, because we're not going to go for eBay, hopefully. But sometimes you just got to be right place, right time. And it was when I was buying some wrestling stuff, looked to my right-hand side and saw one jersey in the back of the car and ended up with 5 jerseys that I think I'll do pretty well on. But again, if I would have gone home, they would have been in someone else's bag. So you do just have to keep going. And yeah, not every day is a banger. Not every day you're going to find that £1 into £200 item. And again, I think a lot of people go into reselling thinking they are going to find it on a daily basis. Believe me, I've been doing this now for over 2 years. You will not find that on a daily basis, okay? If you do find it on a daily basis, let me know where you're getting your stuff from, and I want to be in on that as well, and we'll go halves. But yeah, it just doesn't happen. 5:39 a.m. in Australia. Well, Angela, you're the real hero tonight, or today, or this morning for coming on. So, no, I appreciate you being in that early. Let's have a look here. Damien says, don't forget shop fees go up soon, so we'll all go up a bit. Yes, April, the shop fees go up. Now, scheduled listings has always been a controversial subject because half the people I speak to say scheduled listings are free. Half the people I speak to says you get charged for scheduled listings. I spoke to some eBay reps who said it's free, some eBay reps who says you get charged. But finally, scheduled listings will be included in your shop subscription. Now, for me, that is worth the extra slight increase a month for eBay, because now I don't have to worry about listing the drafts. I can just draft, schedule them all, and then I don't have to physically go on and select 20 or 22, whatever it is. So for me, that's going to be a real game changer. But I believe it's from the 1st of April. So yeah, make sure you're aware of all the fees when it comes to a store as well. The temptation to get a store is there. I always say to people, start off, if you're doing this professionally, if you're doing either part-time or full-time, start off on the beginner store. That will give you enough. It allows you to use the marketing, the promotions, and all the charts and the rest of it. But then, like where Tam and Bell are at the moment, they're now looking at when the right time to step up. And like Fixit said there, it's around 650 listings. But yeah, just keep in mind the fees do go up soon. And there we are. It was that when it's 12p a listing. Don't even know how much listing has been so long. Yeah, and that's where I was Fixit. I've had the store. I've had the middle store now for well over a year, I think it is, because I got quite a lot of listings on early doors on eBay. The Welsh Picker, good evening. Are you going to the eBay Roadshow next Thursday, the Welsh Picker? And if so, myself and a few others are coming along. So if you are, let me know, and it'll be good to meet people who come and like comment on the YouTube videos or join the lives. It'll be good to meet people in person. So Tama Bell says, we are getting closer to 500, started to think about it a bit more. Sorry, it's hard doing lives on your own because you haven't got a break for a drink. Yes, so the answer is once you get to that 650, definitely jump up, and it's still 12p. So yeah, 650 does ring a bell. So yeah, keep going. When you get to that 650, jump up because you will end up saving money. Or even if you want to do it before, it takes away the worry about hitting that point as well. But I think if you are paying the 12p, it's still going to work out better if you stay where you are at the moment. 690 listings on the current shop price. So there's the update information from Damien. So with the changes, so 690 listings is the best time to move up to the middle store. Thanks for working out, Damien. I was going to try and work it out later, and I was going to message Tab because it's always good to know. Lucy saying, is it the Moss End run by Buns? Yes, that's the Saturday one I go to. I love that Saturday car boot sale. I've been going to that one for well over a year and a half now. Really nice environment there, really nice vibe. They tend to have it where, you know, although people are setting up as people are arriving when it comes to the buyer's perspective, they do stop a lot of people jumping in people's boots, which I really enjoy. I go to another car boot sale midweek, and the car drives in and people are already in the boot and open up the car. I can't do that. I felt awkward even asking the lady the other day I know you haven't got them out of the car at the moment, but can I have a look at your jersey? It's only because I was buying stuff from her I asked the question. But with the stewards are really good. So they will stop people jumping in people's boots. And I've seen them kick people out of the car boot sale where they just keep ignoring them. So it's a really nice environment. So one I would definitely recommend if you are local. Let's have a look here. Hockey jersey, yes. I'm doing research on them. Really difficult to research because there is so many different variations. Some have got some Stanley Cup badge on them, that look quite rare. So I'm trying to figure out prices and what to list them on eBay. My go-to the other week was other day was just to list them all at the same price and just see what happens. But what I don't want to do is list up a jersey for, say, £5. I'm not going to list them up for that, by the way, in case you'll run to the eBay store. I don't want to list it up for £5 and it'd be worth 500. And I don't think any are going to be worth 500, but look, there might be 100, 200 pound. We don't know. So I'm researching them at the moment. James is still here. I know he's got the little one, so I spoke to him earlier, but he appreciates the shout out. No, always, mate. Absolutely. And as I say, James is so helpful on my Sunday car boot. We chat all the time, and he helped me carry the Nerf guns back the other week. So it's really good. Lou's saying it's hard to get up early as I have to get up 10 to 15 earlier than my mum who drives me to feed the dogs and have to let them out. Yeah, do you know what? One of my biggest game changers doing reselling full time, and this is some secret sauce, and I don't mind sharing it. I mean, I'm quite open as a person. I probably share more than I should share with regards to the real life of reselling when it comes to transparency. But this isn't a real big secret, but the biggest hack is either wake up 1 hour earlier or work 1 hour later. And I've learned that because it's really helped me. So now I don't mind waking up at 6 o'clock. So although I might not go to the gym till 7:30, I don't mind the alarm going up at 6 and getting up and having a coffee or whatever it may be. But if you can do that 1 hour earlier or later, you will get so much done. It's incredible. And if you can find times as well where you're not going to be distracted. So that's why I like getting up earlier, because the WhatsApp messages aren't flying in, that time, because a lot of people are sleeping. And that's what really helped me in the 24-hour stream. The most productive work I got was between the hours of 2 a.m. and 5 a.m. because a lot of people who were in the stream commenting had obviously gone to bed. Friends, family weren't messaging me on WhatsApp. They'd all gone to bed. So I had no distractions. It was really nice. If you can do that, I would definitely do so. Damien saying 770 once the shop fees go up. All right, so there's so many numbers in there, but hopefully Tam can work it out. So here we go. Project Weaver. I don't know how you guys do it full time. I struggle to do it part time. I guess, like I said earlier, it's the flip side of the coin, because I would struggle to do this part time because I'd want to grow it too quick. I'm impatient when it comes to that. I want to grow the business really quick, and I couldn't work a job alongside doing eBay because I think I'd be too exhausted at the weekends when it comes to actually going out to source, and I'd put it off quite a bit. I've made a promise to myself this season to not miss a car boot sale unless I'm on holiday. And I'm talking about holiday abroad, which we don't plan to do. We might go away. But even when we are going away in April, we're going down to Devon. Now, I'm going to be going to car boots in Devon. I'm not going to miss the car boot sale. So I made a promise to myself to not miss a car boot sale Saturday or Sunday. And the reason I said that is because last year, I would wake up and I'd be like, oh, do you know what? I'll give it a miss today. I'm too tired. And I regretted it when it comes to the winter months, because then you're rummaging around everywhere for stock and it's really hard to find. So what I'm going to try and do when the season's really up and running is I'm going to try and overbuy during the season and store stuff away in the garage, which I can go to in the winter. And if you do that over the whole course of the season, 6 to 7 months of car boot sales, when it comes to them winter months, you're not just relying on Facebook Marketplace and stuff. But yeah, I respect anyone who does eBay full-time, part-time, or a little bit on the side, because it's a real hustle. And actually, a lot of people do it part-time, and eBay is a bit of an extra boost, a bit of a side hustle, which also I'm really fond of doing the side hustle part as well. So yeah, fair play to anyone who does it part-time as well. Lisa saying on the shop options, it is said you get charged but free from April. Yeah, that's for the scheduled listings. It's so confusing because a lot of people said they were free, but I didn't believe so. Yeah, but at least from April, we all know 100% the scheduled listings are free. Damien's saying shop fee is going up £8 plus VAT per listing fee, £8 plus VAT, but the per listing fee is staying the same. Well, that's quite good. If you are, then Tam and Belle, if you are on the beginner store, at least you know the listing fee isn't going up to say 20p, because that would have probably forced your hand a bit. Oh, he's not going. That's a shame. Would have been good to meet you. No worries, mate. I'm coming to Wales on the Boot Sale Roadshow once the boot sale season is in full swing. So yeah, if you are, I'll message you when I'm going to come to Wales anyway and let you know what car boots I'm going to. So if you're about, again, come and say hello. Any other advantage to the middle store? No. So the main things you get is the promotions, but you get that on the beginner store. So the main things you are going to get is your listing. So your auctions go up and your buy it now listings go up. The only other real benefit is you did receive an eBay packing voucher, but I believe they're stopping that. I need to have a proper look into it. I looked to when the announcement come up, but I kind of put it to the back of my mind until probably the end of March, to be honest, because I'm still going to stay in the store. But I believe the packing voucher is going. So the real benefit is you don't have to worry about paying that insertion fee. So I think where you guys are at the moment, keep where you are. I don't see any benefit to you moving up at the moment. But once you get closer or hit that point, then yeah, switch up your store. But do keep in mind as well, if you are in growth mode, that won't be too long. But if you're not in growth mode and you kind of always want to sit around the 500 or 600 listings, you never have to move up because things will sell and you'll just add stuff in. So it all depends on where you are, Tam, with your store. Free scheduling currently is based on when you opened your middle store. Mine are free and always have been. Oh, okay. So eBay have never said that to me, Derek. So that's really interesting. So maybe they had it where scheduling was free, but then they changed the terms where scheduling wasn't free. So I guess it does depend on when you opened it. But I guess at least now everyone is going to be 100% clear. Yeah, so Alan's saying, I never want to upgrade from the 250 store. That means I'm selling the stuff and not storing it. Yeah, absolutely. Um, I was speaking to Jamie Sully the other day, and I called him Sully Storage because he wants to get to like 2,000 items, which for me is just like crazy numbers. But yeah, you're right. If you can keep at a 250 store and you've got stuff coming in and going out, coming and going out, that's the name of the game. You know, a lot of people will say, "Oh, I've got an eBay store that's 20,000 items." Is that a good thing? In my head, it's not a good thing because I'd rather have a store with 100 items and they're all coming in and going out, coming in, you're just restocking. So yeah, if you can be there, it's a great place to be, Alan. Absolutely. The best place to be. For those looking at the basic store, need 83 listings currently to make the sub worth it. 90 needed after cruise. Thanks so much, David, for putting all them in. It's really helpful when you get people dropping that information in there, especially for new people. I know a lot of new resellers watch my stuff, which I'm always really excited about because we all started somewhere new once. So yeah, Damien, I appreciate you chucking it in. Talking of Sully Storage, Jamie's in. The classic, what's your 90-day total? I think Jamie asked me this every other day. What's my 90 day? What's my 90 day? Do I have any gold, silver, bronze, or anything like that? So, yeah, Jamie, good to have you in. Hope you're on the UK call tonight. I want to hear about how your week's gone. There we are. Packaging supply, scheduling, £10 and credit. I know I'm a bit behind in the chat, so I'm probably answering questions that have been answered already. But yeah, the £10 credit's going, which is quite annoying because I buy, let me grab them. With the credit, I like to buy these eBay boxes, the small ones, because I sell a lot of small items now, or I try to, and they're perfect size for cameras. I normally buy 100 at a time, and I think it costs me about £4 or £5 on top of the store credit. So I'm a little bit gutted it's going, but I'm just going to pay for more packaging, I guess. Yeah, Damien's saying the same. Our credit is going away and scheduling will be free come April. So just a voucher and increase in auction allowance. So yeah, I think you are at a good place at the moment, Tam. 100%. I might be down to invade Moss End in a month or two. Yes, Lee, come and see me down Moss End. It'd be really good to see you. I know I've had you on the podcast and stuff, but yeah, it'd be really good to meet you in person. You buy all the stuff that I would probably leave behind now as well. I'm stopping buying all the electrical stuff, all the VHS players, all that stuff. Leave the cameras to me and I'll leave all the electrical stuff to you. We can go around together and help pick for each other. But yeah, 100%. I'll be down there every single Saturday if it's on. So yeah, come and say hello. Here we go. So this is an interesting one. So Damon's saying, James, that boot you're going to lately looks hard work. All the YouTubers seem to be there. Yes, it is YouTube Central. So we've got Lucy, who's in, James, Jamie Dodger, Ricky goes there, Ricky Lee, Flippin' Sloth J. There's a few others as well, I think. Anyway, at the moment, it is hard work. And the reason it's hard work is because there is more buyers than there is sellers right now. So at the moment, there's probably 7 rows, I would say, of sellers, and there's more buyers than sellers. So you've got to be on it constantly. When it's in full swing, I think a lot of the other resellers go to other car boot sales as well. And there's a lot more. Normally you get a full field. So you probably get, I don't know, 25 rows, maybe 20 rows. It's a lot easier when it's in full swing. At the moment, it is that you walk in and you're just like resell essential. Everyone's reselling, but it's not just the resellers, the YouTubes. But yeah, it's always good to meet up with them guys and have a chat with them as well. So, but yeah, no one else come, please, because it's too much. And again, I tell everyone where I go at the car boot sale. So there we are. Alan knows Jamie. So going on Jamie, it's all about the 90 day. That's all that matters to Jamie. What's your 90 day? What's your 90 day? And Damien, you have got it nailed on. This is what I say to him all the time. And Fixit's got it nailed on as well. 90 day is BS. It's the profit you need to know. 100% right. And I was speaking to Nick Hills last week? I think it was last week on the channel. And I was saying that is my biggest eBay reseller ick, where people post their 90-day total, because my 90-day total might show you £20,000 over the last 90 days. What you don't know is that £20,000 has actually cost me £30,000 to buy. Guess what? I'm 10 grand down. So 90-day doesn't mean anything. Profit is what we need to know. So stop asking people what their 90-day is. Profit is everything. Not this, Sully's vintage. 90-day means everything. It defines your entire business. No, it doesn't. He's obviously trolling tonight, Sully's vintage. So, yeah, we all know profit is what matters, not the 90-day. Guess you are right. I work 60 hours a week and always going to 4 to 5 charity shops in Reading Town Centre on my lunch breaks. Oh, so you're in Reading. Okay, cool. During the day, and that's hard work to spend weekends listing. Yeah, so Reading has a couple of good car boot sales at the weekend. I've been to that giant one before in Reading because my cousin John lives in Reading. So I've been to that one before. So that's always a really good one. RS says, I work full-time and eBay part-time, and I'm at the point where I need to put more time into eBay to make the next jump. But I don't know where to get time from. Now, I always call you RS. Is it Robin? Let me know if I'm right. I'm really useless at names. I want to call you by your name if it's Robin. You know, I don't call DB Resells. I know it's Damien now, but let me know if it's Robin. But anyway, I don't know where to get that time from. It is so difficult to find that eBay part-time stuff. I was speaking to someone the other week in the group on the UK call, and she was saying the same. She works full-time and does eBay at the weekends, but struggles at the moment with the boot sales being closed. You know, she can go to charity shops, but where does she source stock from? Where does she find time to post during the week? It's really difficult. So this is what I was saying about the whole hour. If you can get up an hour earlier, it could be a real game changer. Now, look, I know it's not possible for everyone. I mean, we've got no kids. When we have children, it's more difficult. So I completely get that. It all depends on your situation. Everyone's situation is different. But if you can try and get in the habit of getting up an hour earlier, what you can achieve in that 1 hour of your eBay work could be a game changer. You know, you could do all your packing. You might even be able to do all your listings in the hour as well, depending on what you do. You've just got to find the time. But the jump from leaving a full-time paid job to going into eBay is a huge decision. And I always say this to anyone, and anyone who wants to talk about it from my perspective, my Instagram's always open. So just message me on Instagram and I can talk you through what I feared. And as I said to you, I was made redundant. It twisted my arm a little bit, but the thought of handing my notice in at a full-time recruitment job where I was paid really well to then go and start this journey, not knowing what's around the corner, it's worrying. So just take your time before you make that jump. I always say this about anyone. It's Cooking a Hayden saying the packing voucher is not going. A £10 promotions voucher is going. See, I was under the impression reading that the packing voucher is going, but if not, I'm so happy because I can continue to get my eBay boxes. So thanks for that, Chris. Hope you're well, mate. Tamar Bell is saying live sale 10 manga books, $59.99. So if anyone was in Rich's live stream last night and I joined it, I had a really awful day on eBay yesterday. It was one of my slowest days this year, sales-wise. And I joined Rich's live stream and everyone was getting these live sales. It was live sale, live sale, live sale, live sale. And I was like, what's going on here? I'm having such a shocking day on eBay. And I kid you not, the next moment, live sale for me. And I messaged Rich. I was like, please can you stay down till midnight because I've had a shocker of a day and this really helps. So yeah, if I'm sharing the live sales, keep them coming. Mel's made one of my lives. I know it's really difficult for Mel to make the lives because, like Angela in Australia, the times are awful. So Mel, thanks for coming in. I'm just talking about work-life balance. What does it mean to you? I know your work-life balance at the moment, Mel, and correct me if I'm wrong, it's probably a little bit all over the place because if you don't follow Back from Burnout, I'm sure you all do, please do. Mel is on the move, shall we say. So, yeah, really exciting time. But Mel, good to have you in. Hi, John. Good to see you. Hi, Phil. So Lou's saying it's definitely luck of the draw, but help when you get more people with you. We were lucky at one car boot sale last year with mum pickup and my mum pickup. Yeah, so if you've got people with you, it makes life a lot easier. And what I will say is about the other resellers, and Damien mentioned it earlier, there's a lot of other resellers who go to my boot sale on a Sunday. I will spot things at other people. I don't mind doing that, and they will do the same for me as well. So with James the other day, if you've seen his video, he picked up some lights, and as we were walking off, I said to him, "Oh, look, there's another set there," and he didn't see them, and he checked them out, and they were no good, to be fair, and he didn't buy them. But again, I think speak to other resellers at car boot sales, make friends with them, because you're all there to do the same thing at the end of the day. When I first started going to car boot sales, other resellers, I used to always think like, "Oh, they're a reseller. I'm going to avoid them. I hope I get." It used to be more of a competition. When now it's like I've built friendship from the car boot sale, and actually, them friendships turn into potential leads in the future as well. So yeah, make friends with people at the car boot sale. That's what I say. The other resellers, talk to them, find out how their week's gone, what they're after today, what they picked up. It's really good for your knowledge as well. Limelight. Oh, so talking about here, I saw the comment here. Could you pay someone to help you for a couple of hours a week? Not really. All my eBay work is done from home. I'm not very good at trusting people. Yeah, so that's an interesting one about whether I would hire someone while working from home. I don't think I would. I don't think I'd feel comfortable sort of saying to that person, right, I need to pop out sourcing for the afternoon. Are you okay to be in the shared list of items? Or, it's linked to our house. So I think it depends on your situation. I think if you have a warehouse or an office space, I think hiring someone is a lot easier to do when it gets to that stage. I'm nowhere near hiring anyone at the moment, and I don't think I will be for the foreseeable. I'm too much of a control freak, and actually, I want to make sure that I'm in control of how my business works as well. Let me just see if I've missed anyone else. Here we go. So we're getting the eBay Ixin, which I love. It's not just the 90-day, that bullshit. The six-figure seller quote is BS. Yes. Nick Hill's done the most amazing short on six-figure sellers. And look, hands up, I am guilty. I have used a six-figure seller quote on YouTube on one of my videos, and I'll never do it again, because people who claim to be these six-figure sellers, and I was joking with a couple of people the other week, I could sell my house on eBay. Well, you probably can't. I don't know if you can sell a house on eBay. Anyway, I can sell, I don't know, a car on eBay. Okay, and that car could be worth 500,000, and I haven't got a car worth 500,000, so don't all come at me with that. But does that make me a six-figure eBay reseller? Effectively, it does. But yeah, I agree. That's another one of the icks that really gets me with the resellers. It's all about net, absolutely. So where people are flashing this 90-day total, and you will see it a lot on Instagram. People will flash up their 90-day total, but what's the truth behind that 90-day? So 90 days is the flashy part, but the net, the profit, is the part where your tax man and the accountant really cares about. And it's the money, it's the thing you should really care about. How much are you actually making from doing this job? I wish I was a morning person, could wake up an hour early. Well, Mel, you're quite early today, so you're not doing too bad. There we go. Chris, I promise I didn't read your comment before I said it. I'm a six-figure seller share, selling my house. So, Chris, is it true, and I might have missed this, are you planning on moving to Wales? Did I hear that the other week in your live, or am I dreaming about it? Let me know, mate. I'm hoping to come down, Chris, your neck of the woods, April time, potentially. So I'll let you know, and we can maybe meet up for a boot sale and a coffee if you're about. It'd be good to see you. I can't remember having a lie-in. First it was years of waking up for the kids, and now it's the sodding dog. Yeah, now people are going to laugh in the chat potentially. We haven't got a dog, but we have two cats. And one of the cats, the boy, wakes him up every single morning. He'll jump up on me, and obviously I don't sleep in my glasses, and he'll crawl up on me, and he'll get his paw, and he'll just poke me in the eye, not aggressively, just tapping me in the eye to wake me up. And he doesn't stop until we get up. So yeah, I know about the lion thing. It doesn't happen. Let me just catch up here. Tam's a six-figure seller as well. Action figure seller. Yeah, if you sell six figures. Mel's saying, my work-life balance all over the place for a while, just to make sure I keep eating clean and walking to stay sane. Yes, Mel, I was speaking at the start about how I've included a lifestyle schedule, or I'm starting to include it into my eBay schedule. And I went to the gym today I've done an hour at the gym running, not flat out interval running, and don't look at the 7K I've done and the time. It took an hour, but anyway, that doesn't matter. I felt so much better afterwards, and I've had such a positive day today, and I've managed to get all my stuff done and feeling really motivated, and I can't wait to go to the gym tomorrow. So yeah, although things are stressful, I know things are stressful for you at the moment, Mel. Keep sane, eating clean, really good. This isn't a fitness channel, believe me. I'm not going to tell you what you should be eating. I enjoy the odd bit of crap food from time to time, but yeah, I think keeping mentally sane is really important, especially for you at the moment, Mel. So yeah, keep going. Michelle says, I love you, Jamie, coming in with his 90 day. It started a good subject though, because a lot of people do speak about 90 day all the time. Eating clean is hard. I'm taking the kids to Five Guys. Like, oh, Z, I love Five Guys. I'm really hope. By the way, everyone, happy Pancake Day or Shrove Tuesday, however you want to call it. I'm really hopeful I do see some pancakes tonight. Okay, but I'm not sure whether Leanne is going to have prepared pancakes. So after this live, before I start the UK call, I'm going to go and just have a little look inside in case they've been prepared. But if not, I might have to have them tomorrow. Phil's saying his 90 days, 6,200 part-time. Return on investment is very low, and these actually profits around 500 a month. There we go. So Phil has it. So on paper, Phil, you're absolutely smashing the game part-time, 6,200 part-time. But when you look at the profit, £500 a month, you're still smashing it. But some people will look at that 90 day and just say, I want to be earning that. So yeah, 90 day means nothing. It's good for you. Do you know what? I lie. 90 day means something to you, and that's all it should mean something to. If you wake up in the morning and you can choose what you do with no real financial consequence, you're doing well. 90 day means nothing. Yes, absolutely. Everyone's position is different. And I spoke to Nick a little bit about this when he was on the live last week. It doesn't matter what Nick Hills earns. No offense, Alan, I'm going to say it. I don't care what Alan earns. It doesn't matter to me. Unless Alan says to me, and I'm hoping he does, message me later and say he's going to pay my mortgage next month. Cheers, Alan. It doesn't matter to me what Alan earns. It matters what you earn. So don't fall into the trap of looking on Instagram and seeing this, because guess what? No one's going to post their 90 day where it's not very good. People are always going to flex a 90 day on Instagram, but it doesn't mean anything to you. It means something to them, and that's great. And you know what? I love seeing people where they say, my 90 day was this for the first 3 months of the year, and now it's this, and I've increased, 40%. Amazing. Really happy for them, because they're obviously increasing what they're doing. That's amazing. But to me, it doesn't mean anything. So yeah, don't worry about the 90 day. Thanks, Jamie, for bringing up the 90 day. So Lucy's saying the same. She's exactly the same as me. Hate jumping in boots, but if I see something, I ask to look. Yes, so I will ask to look and apologise afterwards. So I will say, like I've done with the jerseys, oh, do you mind if I have a quick look at that jersey? Sorry, I know you haven't completely set up yet. And if you do it in the right way, that's okay. If they turn around and say, oh no, I want to get it all out first, absolutely fine. I'll come back once you've set up. And I've done it many a time, walked away. I've got nothing against, some people want to do that, and that's up to them. For me, I just can't. I can't find myself to do it. And I might miss out on stuff by not doing it, but just morally for me, it just doesn't sit right. Let's have a look here. Here we go. The jump, if you have the option, is to go part-time at your employed job, leaving more hours for eBay. Absolutely. If you can do it. So if this is a real passion for you to go onto eBay full-time, and you know what? A lot of people will moan about how awful eBay is, but hand on heart, I never want to do anything else. I don't want to go back and work for someone else. I can go back into a recruitment job next week. But do I want to go and work for someone else and have to sift through CVs and deal with candidates and deal with target? No, I don't want to do any of that. And Michelle, you're absolutely right. If you have the option in your current job where they can let you go part-time, do it that way. Someone also as well took a month off. I can't remember who this was. If you're in tonight, let me know. What they've done, they took a month's holiday from their job. They saved up holiday and took a month off, and they've done eBay flat out for a month to see whether they could do it full time before they made a decision to switch. What a genius idea. Because to do eBay a couple of hours is not like doing eBay full time. So if you can do it that way. Callum or North Wales, yes. Oh, that's exciting. Keep us up to date on that. I thought you did mention it. And let me have a look here. So Damien's on the eat clean. He always washes hands after eating the cake. Yes, absolutely. Mel is saying, what is Five Guys? And that's criminal. Mel, how do you not have Five Guys in Australia? It's a bit like Shake Shack. I don't know if you have that in Australia. But for me, and I might get hate in the comments, and do you know what? If you don't believe in this, you can unsubscribe and give permission. Five Guys is the #1 burger place in the world from where I've traveled to anyway. I've been to America. I've tried In-N-Out, Shake Shack in America. I've tried Shake Shack in the UK. Five Guys is undefeated. When it comes to fast food burgers, it's undefeated. And I don't care what anyone says. I'm right. You're wrong. Okay. Very expensive, but very nice. Yes. If you want the cheap burgers, go to Mackey's. Okay. I hate McDonald's, by the way. Little fact about myself. I'm more of a Burger King person. I'm going to do it. But yeah, I would say Five Guys is good, but you're right. It is expensive. You would never post your 90 day or anything like that. Well, that's the kind of person you are, Alan. You're not Mr. Flex. Okay. Some people love to post a 90 day, and that's okay again. But, you know, a lot of people don't post it because it means nothing. It literally means zero. We ain't seen a car boot around here for nearly a year. The A33 is massive, and Prospect Park, I'm itching to get back to them at the weekends. Yes, so Prospect Park is on a Saturday. I sometimes go there after Moss End. I don't know how far Moss End is from where you live, but that might be a good one for you to try as well this season, because it's not too far from well, saying not too far. It's probably about a 25-minute drive from Prospect Park. So everyone's talking about the 90 days. Never heard of Shake Shack either. So Mel, what are your burger places called? Have you only got McDonald's in Australia? What are your places called? Because Shake Shack's another good one, but it's nowhere near Five. Oh, C's made me really hungry now when the Five Guys comment, and I'm meant to be like dieting here. Is the A33 one the Reading Giant car boot, Swallowfield bypass? Yeah, there's loads of Reading ones. I've been to the Swallowfield bypass before. It gets quite big there. I actually saw a fight at that car boot sale once, which was quite funny. You don't really see many fights at a car boot sale, and this is well before I was doing YouTube, because believe me, I'd have been straight over there with the camera. That thumbnail is a winner. So yeah, don't encourage fights at the car boot sales, but if you see them and your camera's on, you know, that's entirely up to you. I did say to another reseller the other day that maybe we should stage a fight at a car boot sale just for the views, but yeah, that's not going to happen. By the way, disclaimer: if you ever see a fight on my YouTube footage, it's a real fight at a car boot. Okay, there's no fake fights on my videos, just to let you know. This is funny. So Simon owes me a Five Guys after yesterday's coffee and charity shop purchase. Yes, so Simon came to my neck of the woods yesterday. We met up for a Costa coffee. I treated Simon to the Costa coffee, and I treated Simon to his purchase in one of the charity shops as well. But jokes aside, it was really good to meet up with Simon again. And I left him all the good stuff. Let's not kid ourselves. We were scrolling through the clothing stuff, and I said to Simon, look, you've travelled here. You get first dibs in my area. And he got a nice All Saints t-shirt, got a barber jacket for 10 quid, which is like a nice wax jacket. But yeah, jokes aside, it's really good. But he is driving us to Cardiff, so we'll call it evens. So you don't owe me a Five Guys, mate. Jamie is threatening to take us out for breakfast, but I've seen what Jamie eats, so I'm a bit worried. I've never heard of either. Mind you, I haven't been out for 20 years. Ian, you must have been out for 20 years. You must still go to the car boot sales. But yeah, if you come across a Five Guys, Ian, it'll change your world. It really will. But yeah, you need a mortgage, that's for sure. A popular one here is called Grilled. Don't know. I'll have to have a Google mail, see what the pictures look like compared to a Five Guys. Hi, mate. I'm listing my first items on eBay. I live in Jersey, Channel Islands. It costs me a lot to ship. Anyway, I can specifically, put specifically UK only. Anywhere I can specifically put UK only. Okay, yeah. So shipping from the Channel Islands, it's probably the same what we have to do to ship to the Channel Islands. So A 1 kg with Hermes for me to ship to you is about £6. I think it is. Wherever I was to ship it anywhere in the main part of the UK, it's about £2.90 or something along them lines. I know someone who lived in Northern Ireland had a PO box in Ireland or something along them lines, which actually made their postage cheaper. I don't know whether that's against eBay terms though, so unfortunately I can't give you advice on that. But yeah, I know it is quite expensive from the Channel Islands to ship. HG Games, let me know how much shipping costs you. Let's have a look here. Luke's saying, have you ever been to a Brookfield giant car boot sale? The name doesn't ring a bell. I'll be honest with you. I want to try and get to different car boots this year. I always stick to my normal Saturday one and the Sunday one I go to. I normally go to the same two, but I am planning on doing 4 to 5 car boots every weekend. And I know that sounds absolutely crazy to a lot of people. It sounds crazy to me, but I feel I can do 2 on a Saturday is easier than the 3 on a Sunday. I just want to make sure I'm getting out there as much as possible. And yes, by the time you get to the 3rd car boot sale on a Sunday, all the amazing stuff's going to have gone. But I'm hoping the prices are going to have dropped down for the stuff that's left. So I might be able to pick up a few things, but we'll see how we get on. But yeah, when the season's in full flow, I'm going hard at the car boot sales. I've got to, because I don't want to be struggling over the winter months for stock. Is there any way on eBay listing where I could specify UK only? Because I'm if I'm shipping a shipping a 1 kg box, for example, to Europe, it will cost me £19. You can turn off international sales. What about GSP? Have you looked at whether you can switch on GSP? But there again, you'll have to ship it over to the main part of the UK to get to GSP as well. There we go. To the UK, it'll cost around £9, as there's only one postal service here in Jersey. Yeah, it's a nightmare. So even if you was to do GSP, it's going to cost you £9 to get it to the GSP hub. You can turn off international shipping, but it just sounds difficult. It sounds like you can only really send items to Jersey, which makes it really difficult. Damien's saying there, if you're a business seller, it's under postage policies, which is under the business policy. So yeah, you can turn off international. I've got GSP switched on. So what GSP is, for people who don't know, is if I was to sell something to, say, America, Australia, France, Germany, Belgium, wherever it is, I don't give you all the countries. I'm not going to get my globe out. But if I was to send something GSP, I send it to the eBay hub, and then they send it on. And the eBay hub charges the customer the extra postage. And it's ridiculous how much profit they make on them postage. And it'll be a lot better for the customer. And I would make more money if I'd done it directly. But what it does do, it takes the stress away. So the moment it arrives at the hub, if then eBay was to ship my item to the customer and it gets damaged, eBay 100% cover you. So it takes the pressure off anything going wrong. So that's why I use GSP. But yeah, I don't really know HG Games with regards to that. I would call eBay and have the conversation with them, because if you've only got one postal service, it's going to be hard for you to sell items when it's going to cost you £9. So your profit margins have got to be insane. So you've got to kind of be taking that £9 straight away off the buy price, which is really difficult. You know, most of the things I send are sort of £3, and I charge shipping for most items as well. I'm only selling video game sector, so when I send most things large letter, which is about £3 to the UK or €5-6 Europe. But thank you for advice. Yeah, sorry I couldn't help anymore. It's a really difficult one where it comes to posting from Jersey, Guernsey, because I know what it's like when we send items. It costs a little bit more. I know from the UK, Yodel, I think it's the same kind of price to ship. I'm not sure about Royal Mail, but I know Hermes is a lot more. I sold a majority of my old Sega collection, and about 25 games out of 40 have gone via GSP. If it wasn't for that, I would still be sat on them, I reckon. Yes, so some items fly, especially gaming items abroad. So yeah, jealous of the Sega Saturn collection, by the way. You don't really see many Sega Saturns around. Did you pick it up from a car boot, or is that just a personal collection that you've had for years? Hi, Les. Hope you're well. Thanks for joining. Well, we've been going for 1 hour 24. Thank you all for joining in tonight. Talking about work-life balance on eBay. It's a really important thing for myself, and it's something I am constantly trying to improve. Like I mentioned at the start with my schedule, and if you are joining late, I will share it again. With my current daily schedule, this is what I'm dealing with. So actually trying to fit in family life is really important to me. So although it's a 4 o'clock finish, some things don't always go to plan. And then I've got the other commitments, as I mentioned, with the calls I do in the daily refinement group, and I said the YouTube call alongside with Mel in the group, and then the auction, the car boots, trying to build my Instagram, trying to improve on TikTok, thinking of YouTube shorts, thinking of YouTube ideas. The list is endless. So it doesn't just stop at the schedule, but the best advice I can give to anyone, if you want to do so, and it's not going to work for everyone, create a schedule that works for you, your lifestyle, and your family. My schedule here, and by all means, I'll leave it up now while I'm talking, screenshot it away, I'll go back to the video, copy it if you want to. But it needs to work for you and your family. We haven't got children at the moment, so hopefully we have family in the future. This will have to change again. But make sure it works for your lifestyle and your family. That's tip number one. If you want to create a schedule, create one if it works for you. Some people don't, it works for them. You have to do what works for you, but just make sure it's realistic when it comes to times as well. Don't put you've got 10 minutes to pack your items when you're an everything seller, especially, because believe you me, you're not going to pack many items in 10 minutes after you've got the box. You take the box, you bubble wrap the item, you void fill, you seal it, you print your label. That is not necessarily just going to take 10 minutes if you've got 10 items. So, be realistic with leaving yourself plenty of buffer space. And the other tip I would say from tonight's live stream, if you can do so, wake up 1 hour earlier than you're doing at the moment, or work 1 hour later if you can do so. So my reset zero's at 4 o'clock. My wife does not walk through the door until about 6:45. I've got to prepare dinner before that. So I effectively have left myself an hour, maybe an hour and a half, depending on what I'm cooking, of buffer time for where things go wrong. Or I can kind of say to myself, right, James, put in the extra hour now. That means you can take Friday afternoon off because me and Leanne are going out, because Friday's her day off as well as the weekend. She does 4 long days. So has Friday, Saturday, and Sunday off. So if I can get to a stage of where I can take a Friday afternoon off, it allows us to spend more time together. It keeps her happy indoors. So when I'm down the shed today, and I'll be down here probably till about 11:30 tonight after the UK call. And on a Thursday with Mel, we do the YouTube call, and we don't normally finish till about 11:30 my time. She's not feeling like it's all business, and we don't have our relationship as well. So it's really important. So if I could offer any advice, it'd be them three. Some people don't like a schedule. Some people love a schedule, but it's completely up to you. So Project Weaver's saying it's his collection from 95. Amazing. I ain't used it for about 15 years. Might as well sell it to someone that appreciate it. Yes, I wish I had all the N64 and all that stuff. I wish I kept it. Yeah, amazing stuff. I changed to part-time working 2 years ago. Works well for me. Yes, it has to work well for you. And that is the key. You have to do what works well for you. My schedule is my schedule. It's going to work well for me. To the likes of, Night's Life, Rich, it's not going to work for him because he's got different things going on. I work all day but don't seem to get loads done. Yeah, Rich, that's why I've created the schedule, because I used to do the same. I used to feel like I'm spending 14 hours sometimes, and that is not even an overreaction. I sometimes would get down the shed at 6 o'clock in the evening and wouldn't leave the shed till 9 at night sometimes. And I would do 10 listings. And I'm like, what have I been doing my day? But everyone's different. So although you don't feel you're getting loads done, you probably are. But having a schedule means you know exactly what you're doing. Mel's saying you're a hard worker, James, and give a lot to the community. I just try my best, Mel. And Mel's been, I've mentioned it many times and I'll keep doing it. Mel's been a huge inspiration as to why I'm here talking to you guys on YouTube, because, Mel gives a lot back to the community, and that's what I'm doing it here for. A lot of people will go on YouTube for the enjoyment. I love doing YouTube. But I also like speaking to you guys. I like meeting new people. I like sharing my ideas. And my ideas aren't going to appeal to everyone. Some people are pretty, look at the schedule and be like, oh, that's crap. What's the point in doing that? I just come and do my listings. And honestly, that is absolutely fine if it works for you. I agree with Mel. Rich, you need to take time to yourself. You need to time yourself on every task and then work out where you're wasting your time. Yeah, absolutely. I've done that many a times. Timing myself and realizing the other week, it took me, and this is embarrassing for me to say, it took me 3 hours, 30 minutes to pack 30 listings on eBay. 3 hours, 30 minutes. And I couldn't work out for life of me why. And I got the garages and I worked out the reason why. Because my space was not big enough for where I'd grown and I was just stepping over things. I was having to move 3 or 4 boxes out of the way to get to one item from a bin, pull out the bin, take the item, put it on the desk, put the bin back, put the boxes back. Oh, and guess what? 5 items later, I've got to go back to that bin again. You've got to work out where your bottlenecks are. And once you do that, Rich, it's going to be an absolute game changer. Too busy playing with the dogs, Bud. Yeah, that's probably what it is, Rich. I'm guilty of that with the cats. If they come in the shed, half an hour wasted. And we're going to finish on pancakes because I'm hungry. I'm going to try and get some food before the call. Lou's saying I'm having pancake tomorrow as I haven't got any topping. So we should have spoke about this maybe at the start. I'm very plain when it comes to pancakes. A little bit of sugar, maybe a drop of lemon, maybe some banana if I'm feeling really ambitious and really, excitable with the pancakes. But I'm quite plain, so very plain for me. And one thing I will say is pancake day should not just be today. It should be any day you want pancakes. They're acceptable. You have to make the time as well and then speed up for the future. Yes, indeed. Just time it. And do you know what? Find out what is slowing you down. A lot of people film themselves, Rich, as well. And I know you do YouTube, so you're quite confident with the camera. Film yourself and just see what you're doing wrong, whether you are stopping for 20 minutes to play with the dogs or whatever. Oh, now we're getting the pancake stuff in. Butter, lemon, and sugar. Mel, is it pancake day in Australia today? Is that a thing in Australia? I know you don't have the decent burgers in Australia, but is pancake day a thing? I just rushed around 4 shops to get eggs, but just managed to nab the last 3 packets. Now, controversial as well. I like making pancakes from scratch, like you, Rich, but them shaker bottles where you just add milk, they're a game changer. And they taste exactly the same. And they're more expensive than doing it from scratch, but saves on the washing up, Rich. Come on, saves on the washing up. They don't have pancake day, but Mel wishes they did. Well, Mel, it's pancake day in the UK. You're on the UK live chat with me. So go and make yourself some pancakes for breakfast. Some blueberries on there. Nice, healthy start to the day. Currant, sugar, and lemon. Oh, I'm not sure about currants. Yeah, Angela's saying they don't have pancake day. Well, you should have pancakes any day you want then, because we sometimes use it as an excuse to have pancakes on pancakes day. But I think pancakes are very underrated. On that note, on the pancake subject, I'm going to see if I've got any pancakes inside. Thank you all kindly for joining the live tonight. I'm hoping I'm going to message him. We'll get Damien on next week, DB Resells. If anyone ever wants to come on the coffee pod for a chat, anyone's welcome, whether you're a YouTuber, whether you're a full-time reseller, a part-time reseller, or even if you're thinking about going into reselling, you might be working in a full-time job and thinking about making a switch, drop me a message on Instagram at Bold Finds. I don't just want to get the big names on there on the channel. Anyone's welcome to come on. So it's good to have the big names on, but I want to speak to the people who might not be well known. So let me know if you want to come on the channel. And I will end things there. But thank you all for coming. Big shout out to the Australia crowd for getting up early as well. But thanks for all the comments. And I will see you in the next video. Have a good night, everyone. Take care.